Alrighty, so let's actually start making our app. So we have to come up with just some sort of mock idea, at least for now. I'm just going to do an app that's meant for my class. Like it's just like the Teach Me Cone app is what we're going to call it. Okay. Now it is totally possible to make your own items over here and to also import images and both vector or raster images. And at some point you're going to want to do that because even though this is a mock-up, we do want it to look professional and to look like a finalized version of it, because especially if you're making this for, let's say, a client or something. However, when you're very first starting out, it's a good idea to just make sure all the logistics of everything work so that you're not wasting time making your graphics for things that could potentially be cut out or things that might need to be added on. So what we're going to do instead is we're actually just going to use these templates that they have that we can bring in and utilize those. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and then you want to get a UI kit. Now you're going to notice that they have a couple of different options here. I'm just going to show you this real quick just so you see them because I think they're useful. There's an Apple iOS one. There's a material design. That's Google, by the way, in case you don't know. And then there's like Microsoft Windows. And there's other ones, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just, let's just do more UI kits. Or I'm going to do this. Don't do this. If you did, it's just a web page. Doesn't matter. And it's going to show you these different UI kits, right? So it's got this Google Material, AEM, IBM Design, Amazon Alexa, and you'll see like Bootstrap. Basically, these are sort of like the icons and stuff that they built for their platforms that are readily available. So for instance, if I go to Bootstrap here, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Get the Kit. It's going to download it, right? I'm going to show in folder. Just so you can see. And if I open it up, if you've ever used the web and you've used Bootstrap to create a responsive page, so basically if you've taken Web Design 1 or you've done this on your own, you will recognize basically how this looks. It's going to have all of the Bootstrap components that you've been using this entire time while you've been using Bootstrap. So, and they're built right in here. And then what that allows me to do is I can actually mock up my elements. Let's back this up a little bit. I can actually mock up all of the elements using all of these things that it has here. So you can see, like, here's the topography, okay, so content. It's got these things here. Here's a section just for laying out your columns, like when you're doing column design. These different media objects. So let's back it up here. You can see it has these templates for basically doing forms, right? And if you've used Bootstrap, which many sites, I don't know if maybe most, but many sites use a form of Bootstrap and then they format it to their needs. But you will recognize probably a lot of these buttons. And this is basically just the latest and newest, and this is kind of the look. And you can grab these. I can just, literally, I want this badge or this, this badge here. I could just Control C, and then I would just Control V, and then I would paste it into my project, okay? But what we're going to do instead is, don't save, is I don't want to use the Bootstrap one. The one I actually want, I think is not even in here. So that's why I didn't want you to use this right now. So what I'm going to do instead is in here, get UI kits. I want you to choose wireframes. Wireframes is a bit more generic. And it's not what those are, although you'll see it's actually pretty similar. They basically have two of them. And they're this look. It's like this all blue sort of generic look that they've made. Anyway, you might need to log in. I don't know if it'll have you automatically logged in. I might have logged in before I did this. But anyways, you want to do to download kits. And it's going to download the kits. There's two of them. There's mobile and web. And you'll see in a second what these are. So I'm just going to go on this. I'm going to show in folder. I'm going to go ahead and just unzip this. So extract all. If you're on a Mac, you just double click and it will automatically extract. And then you'll see updated wireframes. You'll see one for mobile and you'll see one for web. Okay. You can check out the web one if you want. It's basically, it's kind of like what I just showed you with the Bootstrap, but it's not specifically Bootstrap. It's just a generic one. I'm going to go ahead and do the mobile one. And then it should give me a general mobile template. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to make this big. One thing I don't like is it doesn't use tabs. Like I'd rather it did that, but it just doesn't. But anyway, inside of here, what you'll see is that it has all of these pre-built, basically, mock-ups of different things and different kind of layouts that we can kind of utilize just to get started. And then we can format it, remove elements, add elements, things like that. But it's nice because it gives us basically a starting place, and that's what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is this. I need to work on the very first screen, so my home screen, right? So I'm just going to go up, and I'm just going to go to UI elements. I think that's the one I want. Let's go to UI elements. So I'm just going to zoom in. It's Control plus or minus. I'm holding or Command plus and minus. I'm holding Control and just using the scroll wheel, in case you're wondering. Let's see. I think actually this is not what I wanted. I thought that had the not sign up. Where are you? Hang on. UI elements. I swear it was in that one, but must not be. Menus. Here we go. I'm gonna go to the menus here, and let's see. I don't think any of these are really what I want either. What was I using earlier? Pop over, video, search, messaging, context, settings. I think it is in UI elements, but I think it's not. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay, so bars here. So you have these like defaults. So they have these here. They have the menu ones down there too, but I'm just actually going to use this as kind of my starting point, and you'll see in a second why. I'm going to picture doing basically this guy here for my top bar, and then I'll use this for like a bottom bar. I feel like that makes sense, right? I don't know. So what you're going to want to do is just go to that element. It's kind of hard to click. Make sure it's green. Just hit Control C or Command C for a copy. Go to yours here. And then just go ahead and you can click on this and then hit Control V and it will paste it, or Command V if you are on a Mac. Okay. Yay! All right, so we've got that going on. That's pretty good. Couple of things with this element before I bring the other one in. Right now you can see it is a component, right? So they already have this as a component. It also has this little link on there, and basically what that means is that it's linked to the original. And I actually don't want it to be linked because I don't want to like change something in this and then have it change the other ones. I want this one to just be its own thing on this page. So I'm just going to right click over top of it and just do unlink component. And now it's no longer linked to that. Okay. So now it's kind of its own thing. It's still grouped together like so, but it's not necessarily linked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring it up here. You'll see that snapping happens automatically. And then I'm just going to bring it up here, and then I want it to align to the left. I should be able to just grab it and it should snap, but it's not snapping super well, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but there you go, snap. But if you're having a hard time with that, what you can do is literally, if it's right here, you can just use these alignment buttons. So I can click on this, that's going to snap it to the bottom, and then I'm going to click on this one, and that's going to snap it to the left. So you can already get the idea, center, right, whatever, right? So left. I need this to go across the full thing. I'm going to hold shift, I'm going to grab the corner. Shift just keeps it so it's proportionate until it snaps, and voila, now it's in the top. Yay! All right, that's great. So now I just want to do the same thing, and I want to put it on the bottom for my bottom menu item there. Maybe it's not as necessary, but I'm just doing it because. So I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to grab this guy here, and I'm just going to Control C, go back to my other one, Control V, and I'm going to bring it down here. Again, I could just use this. It's probably easier. Bottom left, hold shift, grab, and like that. And then again, I just want to break the link. Right click over top of it, unlink component. Good. Now it's not linked to the other one. Now, there's one other issue I have with this thing here. And that is this. It's going to seem like a weird thing, but watch. If I take this, I'm going to hold Alt so I make a second one. Oh, that didn't work. There it goes. Okay. If I take this, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I'm going to put it right here. And don't do this. I'm just showing you. I'm going to go in my layer so I can see it. If I put this underneath this guy, let's see if you can. Let me see. Oh, that's that one. Okay, I got to put this on the top. Sorry. Get up there. There you go. If you look, I don't know if you can tell. You can see how you can see title through it a little bit. Basically, what it means is that the background behind this is actually transparent, which you think would be great, but later on, I might want it to actually just be white. We're going to change all the colors anyway, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. I'm going to delete that. I don't need that. Okay. So I actually want this to be to have a white background. So what I'm going to want you to do is make sure you go to layers, okay? And then you'll see, if you aren't already in this, if it's here, just don't double click on this. Double click on the actual icon, right? And then you'll see navbar 1 and navbar 2. See the little folders? That just means that they're grouped together, okay? what I want to do is I am going to go to, you'll see rectangle 69 and rectangle 68. I want to grab 69. I just want to make that one blue. Okay, so what we're going to do is with this one selected, you can see I have all the properties here. I'm just going to go to, or not blue, I'm sorry, I want it white. I'm going to go to fill and I'm going to turn fill on, hit the little swatch, and just make sure it's white and that it's opaque. This is transparency. Okay, voila, that's great. That's all I really wanted. I don't really care about the rest of it. It's a decent start. Good. So now we have that going on, and I think that's probably an okay start as far as some of that stuff's concerned. I do want to change the title of this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click until I get to that text, and then I'm just going to call it Teach Me Cone, and I'm just going to click off. Okay, so I can change the name of that. Yay! All right, great. I'm not going to worry about changing any of these icons, but just be aware that you just double click, and you can get into the elements. All right, but we're not worried about that right now. You'll just see it's the same thing. It's just going in and getting to the subcomponents, but we're going to leave those as they are right now. All right. So the other thing, so I'm going to have this that when you click on the menu button, it pops down, and then you can enter. Some stuff here, but I think obviously I want to have something on a home screen. So I'm thinking what might make sense is for there just to be sort of like a news feed, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in there. So I'm just gonna use my the wireframes mobile template here, and let's see if we can find something that would be good. So I think here we go, activity feed. So that's what I want. I'm gonna use this activity feed, and I'm gonna use this as my guide. So let's see what we got going on here. Really doesn't matter. Choose whatever one you think looks good. Let's go with this one. I'm gonna grab this guy, and we will make sure I got him. It's hard to grab. There we go. Control C. Go back to my other one, and then Control V, and here it is. Now this actually uses a grid component, and what that means is that, watch this, it's pretty cool. So let's say I put this, I'm going to try and snap it roughly to, actually I would have maybe a little bit of a gap, like that. When I grab this, it repeats that same element over and over and over again. So I can make it expand for as long as I want. So I'm just going to have it go basically roughly to there, we'll say. And also, if you look, this is not centered, so I'm just going to center it by clicking on this button. There we go. And you can see it's actually starting to go past there. So I'm just going to make sure those 3 dots are included. I'm going to hit center again. There we go. Oh, actually, that was a little bit. There we go. And now it's center. Okay. Just want to make sure the dots are in there, but not. Okay. So we're going to say that, like, basically by default, it's just going to show this news feed. And that looks pretty okay. All right, so next I want to do is I want to do that when I click on this, it's going to pop up in a menu. All right, so we're just going to do something really simple here to start, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this and duplicate it. Control C, Control V. It's going to duplicate it over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this element, get rid of this thing, just click on it, hit delete. And I want to have a new menu pop up here. So I'm just going to, again, go back to my template here. And let's bring this back. And it should be in the menu section. And I want it to just be more or less a drop-down menu. So I'm just going to use, this one would work too, actually. Well, we won't do that one. I'm going to do this one here. So I'm just going to click on it and hit Control-C. So just click on one of the words here. That's the easiest way to get to it. And then I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to hit Control-V. And you're going to see it looks like this. And you'll be like, oh, no, it doesn't work. It is working. It's just this white on white because it's actually got a clear background. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to, let's give it a little bit of a gap here. And then I'm going to hold Shift and just try to scale it up here. And hold Shift and scale it up there. And let's actually snap it right there. Okay, so we'll go like that. That's fine. Yay. All right. You can see this one doesn't seem to be linked, which is good. Let's see. Yeah. But the one thing I don't like is that I can't see it. So I just want to use that blue background. So if you look, it already knows we're inside of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new shape. I'll click on the rectangle tool here. And then actually click off because we are on that shape. Otherwise what will happen is it will actually try to start drawing that shape, and that's no good. Okay, now go to the rectangle tool. and we will draw out roughly from here down to the, I guess we'll go all the way down to here. Okay, so from the top menu down, I'm going to turn off border. I'm going to go to fill, and I just want to use this blue so it's the same. So if I hit this little icon, the little eyedropper, I can just go ahead and sample, and now that's the background color. Okay, or that's a square color that we made. I'm going to go to the regular select tool. Now what you're going to notice is that I can't see anything, and that's because it's actually at the top. I can get to go back a couple different ways. If you right click, you can go to arrange and go send to the back or send backwards until you get what you want. Notice the hotkeys are control and brackets. The two of them to go forward and back. That's super handy if you're into that. Or it's probably simpler, just click and I'm just going to pull it so it's behind everything. Whatever's on the top is the like in front. Okay, so it works just basically like Photoshop or any other Adobe product where they have the various elements available or what have you. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is this. I need to change these names and such. And also I want that when I click on the menu button that this is what happens. It pops this open. That's the whole idea, is that this will open up this menu. Okay. So let's get to it. So first off, I'm going to go to here, go to here, go to here, and I'm just going to change this so it's my actual name. So we'll say teach me cone. Okay, that's fine. I find that acceptable for now. This icon's obviously going to have to change, but for now, actually, I can just delete it. Let's just delete that. I'm going to back up. Okay, and then I just want to basically change the items in here. So I'm just going to keep clicking, and this I want to be login. Oops, don't hit enter because these are actually separate items. This I want to be, I don't remember what I put in there now. Login, let's do news. That's fine. This one we're going to do is courses. We'll do chat. And we'll do submissions. Missions. Okay. So we'll say that that looks kind of hunky-dory. Now the last thing I want to do, we're going to do more of these, but just so that we just have a basic thing to start with, I just want to connect these two so that when I click on this menu, it's going to go there. Right now, if I hit Control-Enter, what you're going to see, or you hit this little play button, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to show me that first screen. Okay? Or actually, sorry, it's showing this one because I have this one active. So if I click on this one, hit Control-Enter, it's just going to show me the first screen. Okay. Notice it's not doing it. Usually it'll show like a, we'll do it here. It's not doing it. Anyway, usually it'll show like a little home icon. But what I want to do is basically have, oh, you know why? Because we're on prototype. Yeah, there's a little home icon. So what I want to do is I want that when I click on this, that it opens up this thing. So basically it'll look like we're opening up this menu. So all you do is you click on this element. I might have to click on a couple times until I get to it, okay? Then you'll see this little arrow will pop up. All you do is you click and you drag over to here. And now when I click on that, it will go here. And that's basically it. There are things we can do with it. We're not going to do anything with that quite yet. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to be able to get back here. So that's going to be this guy here. So I'm going to click, click, click. There we go. Until I get to this, click, and then drag that back here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on this first one, and then hit Control-Enter. And you can see when I hover over, see a little hand pops up. And I click on that, goes here. I click on this, goes back there. So it almost looks like I'm opening up the menu. Okay? And that's really kind of the basics of it. We're going to do a little bit more in this lab before we're done. But most of what we're going to be doing is basically just this basic thing with, a couple little extra flares here and there and just adjusting things and such. Okay?